So I'm Jonathan Arthurs, and my co-author is Violetta Gerasimenko. Our paper is called New Insights into Venture Capitalist Activity.
I'm Deniz Uçbaşaran. I'm a professor of entrepreneurship at Warwick Business School.
My name's Andrew Maxwell. I'm a professor of entrepreneurial engineering at Lausanne School of Engineering at York University.
Okay, my name is Scott Newbern, and my co-authors are Erno Tornikoski and Narda Quigley, and the paper we wrote is exploring the evolution of supporter networks and the creation of new organizations.
Many entrepreneurs are motivated by the desire for autonomy, the freedom to enact their values and beliefs in their venture. But the puzzle was that while they want this freedom, they also have to operate within constraints.
We looked at the types of people that entrepreneurs reported having helped them with their organizations, those that provided them with resources, and they could be anything from financial resources to human capital, to emotional support. And we found that the more entrepreneurs merge towards a balanced network where they have strong ties and weak ties and in-between ties, those are the ones that end up being successful.
Far too often I find that entrepreneurs are working on very complex issues about their business and their growth and building the team when they haven't got basic things in place. Understanding your decision process actually makes you help better decisions and make them faster. So it actually helps on the decision-making side too.
So basically what we found out is that VCs make decisions about what happens in an organization based on their forecasts. And it's not always based on what you would think that the venture needs to get to the next step.
A lot of these things can apply in the venture capital world too. It's not identical, but the challenge in the VC community and the investment community is that usually you start off by seeing some people lower down on the organization before you see the senior people. The senior people have built these heuristics themselves. They kind of know what they're doing. But now they actually have some frameworks and tools that they can share with people and train people so that they're better prepared to be an entrepreneur or to be an investor.
So what we think this can do on the practical side is help practitioners that are trying to start new businesses understand and take a more strategic view of their networking. So we hear a lot about networking, and it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But what we're suggesting, based on our research, is that they should take stock of what their portfolio of supporters looks like and recognize that different resources can come from different types of supporters. If they have a network dominated by mostly strong ties, they should take a strategic and an agentic path towards developing weaker ties, because they can provide them with different types of resources perhaps that are much different from the ones that they're getting already, and vice versa.
We found that as entrepreneurs we're negotiating this challenge of balancing what matters to me and what matters to them, that they can experience this discomfort, this dissonance as we call it, potentially a sense of inauthenticity at times. And I think that's something that they need to be aware of and to try and reconcile in some way. And it's a matter of a very individual preference of figuring out what that kind of optimal balance is, so to speak.
If you're a founder and you've come up with a venture idea and you've developed the technology and you've gotten this venture going and now you need some capital, you need to think hard about whether you want someone who's going to be very intrusive into the business being an investor, because once VC invests, they're going to have a major impact on what happens in terms of how much capital flows in, who does what, who has oversight over the firm and the guidance and direction, and oftentimes about the exit. What's the exit that's going to occur? And so if you're the kind of founder that wants to control your baby, then maybe you should look for angel investing that you might have a lot more control over rather than going for the VC route.
Either they accept and somehow think, well, actually, I may later on down the line when this business becomes successful start to embed my values in the business in a different way, or they're really going to struggle from their own kind of personal well-being, and I think it's not necessarily a sustainable relationship with the investor. I think it can go pear-shaped, as we say, if you don't find that right balance.